down aircraft in international airspace is an act of war.
So here's what Iran needs to get ready for. Severe pain. If they're itching for a fight, they're going to get one.
To a soundtrack of angry senior Republicans demanding payback, an emergency classified briefing gets underway in the basement of the White House. The acting Defense Secretary carries a folder marked secret. The Secretary of State follows him into the Situation Room. The meeting ends with a decision made. The US will engage in a measured response to Iran for shooting down an American drone. Later that evening, as protesters gather outside, a military strike is ordered. US planes about to take off, ships in position, when Donald Trump's gut tells him no.
They came and they said, "Sir, we're ready to go. We'd like a decision." I said, "I want to know something before you go. How many people will be killed? In this case, Iranians." I said, "How many people are going to be killed?" "Sir, I'd like to get back to you on that." Great people, these generals. They said, came back, said, "Sir, approximately 150. And I thought about it for a second. I said, you know what? They shot down an unmanned drone, plane, whatever you want to call it. And here we are sitting with 150 dead people. That would have taken place probably within a half an hour after I said, go ahead. And I didn't like it. I didn't think it was proportionate.
This was the moment Iran's Press TV claims the US surveillance drone was shot out of the sky on Thursday. And here is what they claim is left of it. The jigsaw of a $130 million US military asset roughly reassembled and placed on display before a line of cameras, zooming in on every mangled fragment and legible serial number. And the Revolutionary Guard had more to reveal, like President Trump perhaps, a publicised act of restraint.
Another spy aircraft was flying close to this drone. That aircraft was manned and had around 35 crew members. Well, we could have targeted that plane. It was our right to do so. And yes, it was American, but we didn't do it. We hit the unmanned aircraft.
4 warnings were given, Tehran claims. Both aircraft, they say, had breached their airspace.
I have a feeling that it was a mistake made by somebody that shouldn't have been doing what they did. I think they made a mistake, and I'm not just talking to the country made a mistake. I think that somebody under the command of that country made a big mistake.
You're talking to Iran's leadership.
Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. It's all going to work out.
So do you feel like there are members of your administration who want...
Say it?
Are you saying you think it wasn't intentional?
I don't know. I find it hard to believe it was intentional, if you want to know the truth. I think that it could have been somebody who was loose and stupid that did it. We'll be able to report back, and you'll understand exactly what happened. But it was a very foolish move. That I can tell you.
Iran acted in self-defense. It's a point that Iran's ambassador to the UN, Majid Takhravanchi, makes in a letter to Secretary-General Antonio Guterres and to the current president of the UN Security Council. In the letter, he says the drone was in full stealth mode as it turned off its identification equipment and engaged in a clear spying operation. Despite repeated radio warnings, it entered into the Iranian airspace where the air defense system of the Islamic Republic of Iran, acting under Article 51 of the United Nations Charter, targeted the intruding aircraft at 0405 hours.
In the letter, Iran says the drone was in the air for almost 4 hours. It says it doesn't want a war, but it reserves the right to take any necessary measures against hostile acts. It wants the international community to respond. So far, though, no meeting of the UN Security Council has been scheduled.
Confirming the strikes had been ordered. Earlier in the day, Trump had said the shooting down of a US drone by Iran may have been a mistake rather than a deliberate escalation.
And I think probably Iran made a mistake. I would imagine it was a general or somebody that made a mistake in shooting that drone down.
Pale in comparison to ours.
While Democrat Nancy Pelosi cautioned the White House over further escalating the situation.
The high tension wires are up in the region for a lot of different reasons. Some bilateral in the region, some multilateral, some religious, whatever it is. The high tension wires are up. We must act in a way that does de-escalate and does not escalate the tensions and the situation there.
Terry, the head of the Revolutionary Guard Corps, coming out and saying Iran does not want a war with the United States, but also that Iran is very much prepared. Bombing Iran would have ended his political career in a minute. There'd be no chance of re-election after that. Ill-advised wars are like doing cocaine. The initial rush rises your poll numbers, but the crash is inevitable, and in this case, it would be horrible.
Our brave troops have now been fighting in the Middle East for almost 19 years. In Afghanistan and Iraq, nearly 7,000 American heroes have given their lives. More than 52,000 Americans have been badly wounded. We have spent more than $7 trillion in fighting wars in the Middle East. As a candidate for president, I loudly pledged a new approach. Great nations do not fight endless wars.
Peace train sounding loud, glide on the peace train. Biseka, come on, peace train.
I've been happy lately, thinking about the good things to come, and I believe it could be something good has begun. I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world as one, and I believe it could be someday it's going to come. Someday it's going to come. Come take me home again. Come on, peace train. Someday it's going to come. Come on, peace train. Come take me home again. Peace train sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Come on, peace train. Isekaya, 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 Isekaya. 'Cause out on the edge of darkness, there rides a peace train. Oh, peace train, take this country, come take me home again. Well, I've been smiling lately, dreaming about the world as one, and I believe it could be someday it's going to come. Someday it's going to come. Come take me home again. Come on, peace train. Someday it's going to come. Come on, peace train. Come take me home again. Someday it's going to come. Someday it's going to come. Someday, someday, someday it's going to come. Now I've been crying lately, thinking about the world as it is. Why must we go on hating? Why can't we live in bliss? Isekaya, 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 Isekaya. Peace train sounding louder, glide on the peace train. Come on, peace train. Someday it's going to come. Come take me home again. Come on, peace train. Someday it's going to come. Come on, peace train.